Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Dr. Sharma, and since the rank list is due right around the corner and match day is coming up, figured I'd make a video on how to make your rank list. Some of the factors that I thought about before I was ranking the hospitals and universities that I could potentially be working at for the next couple of years of my life. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling this when you're making your rank list, and even towards the final weeks of interviews, you're gonna be feeling super stressed out, super nervous, but just keep your head in the game. Time's almost up. At this point, interviews are over, and there's really nothing you can do except just relax and create your rank list according to how you want to do it. Before making your rank list, remember to watch some of the videos that NRMP has that really shows you how to specifically make your rank list on your computer and how the match algorithm works in terms of a university ranking you under their spots, because it works into your favor. If you're ranked anywhere on a hospital's rank list in terms of their open spots and you've ranked them anywhere on your rank list, you will definitely get a match at that hospital. So anyway, let's get started on some of the factors that I thought about when making my rank list. The number one most obvious thing is gonna be the program itself. Now, a lot of you are gonna be thinking about program prestige, the tier. Is it top, middle, or lower tier? Which places did you get interviews at that you felt like you would go and get a very good academic spot in terms of the trajectory of how you want to be working in the future? For example, a lot of you may want to go into academics and therefore should be ranking a lot of the higher research funded programs higher on your rank list. Some of the caveats that can come out of ranking a very highly academic hospital would be number of research requirements during residency, the number of hours worked doing bureaucratic tasks, such as note-taking and other scut work, and number of lecture hours that they're gonna be providing for you. Yes, you could be ranking a very high-tier hospital highly, but if you're someone that doesn't necessarily wanna be doing academics in the future and do not wanna do that much research, you should be thinking about whether you really want to be ranking that program higher up on your rank list. Another program-specific factor is the number of hours and days that they allow you for conference time, and whether or not they give you financial support for those conferences. Can the program tailor your education and your rotations to how you'd like it? For example, if you want to do a certain specialty and something other than just internal medicine and some subspecialties, for example, are they going to allow you to do that at least a couple times per year? Now, some of the discrete program factors, such as work-life balance, should also be coming into play, such as average number of hours worked of the residents, which will also really depend on the specialty, but definitely varies a lot in terms of the university that you're gonna be working at. How many shifts a year are you gonna be working night shift? How many call shifts do the residents have to work, and how do their call shifts actually specifically work? And then finally, thinking about vacation time. Can you take week-long chunks out of the year, or are they gonna be putting a lot of your vacation times together? Now, a lot of programs for first years tend to be a little bit less flexible, and as you move up in the tier later on, as PGY 2s and 3s, they'll allow you to really split up your weeks or put them together how you want them to. So while the amount of vacation time is super important, and it was for me, I wouldn't necessarily stress too much on what they were gonna be doing on how they divvy up the vacation time as a PGY 1, because again, you are at the bottom of the totem pole, and they would like their seniors to sort of get their picks in vacation first, and then you guys later, which I completely think that's fair. Some of the back end things that you want to be thinking about the program when you're ranking is, first and foremost, big red flags, such as their board pass rates. Is the program ACGME accredited, and are they being scrutinized under the ACGME, or do they have any ACGME warnings or any partial accreditation? Finally, another back end program specific factor would be where their residents go for fellowships, especially if it's something like internal medicine or surgery, where fellowship matches are going to be a very highly regarded part of the process. You want to be thinking about where those residents are going for fellowship. Is it one of the hospitals that you'd like to go to? Do they tend to stay geographically in that same location, or do they tend to send their residents out to other cities? Aside from the program, you definitely want to be thinking about the mentorship and the program director and the other academic figures that you were interviewing with during the interview day. Does it seem like the residents have a lot of support from the program director and their other attendings? Or does it seem like it's a little bit more resident run heavy work and they don't really seem to support their residents much? Now, if you are a lone wolf and are able to do the work and learn outside of residency, that may not be a huge factor for you. Another mentorship specific factor is gonna be the number of research opportunities that they're gonna be allowing you to do with certain attendings that may work in a certain specialty that you wanna go into eventually. Now, this would be separate from just the sheer requirement of number of research studies that you'd have to do, but specifically, are they doing the specialties and the specific fields that you would want to research or that you're interested in? And finally, in terms of mentorship, does the program have resident retreats that really allow you to socialize with your residents outside of work, such as dinners and social gatherings that are paid for by the program? Location. For me, location played a huge part on how I made my rank list, because a lot of the factors that go into location are gonna be family and friends in the area, because social support during residency can be very important. How is it gonna be commuting from the hospital, or if there are multiple hospitals that you'd have to work at? in the certain city that you're gonna be living in. For example, will you have to get rid of your car and have to use public transportation? And is the public transportation system in that city gonna be worth it? If you're someone who wants to move to a big city such as NYC and you already wanted to get rid of your car anyways, that may play into an advantage as ranking a lot of your programs in NYC higher on your rank list. Cost of living and residency salary ratio is gonna be super important. While some places like Chicago, LA, and New York may raise your residency salary just a little bit to accommodate for that increased cost of living, sometimes it may not just quite cut it. So what's gonna be more important to you? Is it gonna be the cost of living and salary ratio? Is it gonna be the program tier? A lot of things that you're gonna have to think about. And finally, in terms of location, what city are you gonna be moving to? People from a smaller city in North Dakota are probably gonna be a lot different from a place like Denver, Colorado, where maybe in one place you're gonna be able to do a lot of those hobbies that you'd like to do, such as skiing and hiking, way more with the population of people that are in that city, because more people are gonna be willing to do it. Does it necessarily mean smaller cities are not fun and don't have some of those hobbies that you'd like to do? Definitely not, but again, it's just another factor that plays into the sheer location of where your program is gonna be. The next big subject is gonna be the resident body itself. Do the residents seem like they are all happy? Do they seem really sad? Do they seem like they actually hang out outside of work? And what percentage of the resident body is married or single? Do the resident bodies have a support group for your spouses that are not in medicine themselves? Because that could also be a very big factor in overall resident happiness and happiness of their spouse. Other resident specific things to think about is number of residents, because that can also change number of vacation and call hours that you'd have to work. Are the residents getting enough patient volume? Is it too much patient volume, or is it too little, not allowing you to really learn pathology? And last but not least, the final big factor that's gonna be playing into your rank list is the financial. What is the resident base salary? In 2016, the average resident base salary was $54,000 a year. Does the program match your 401k? This is a little bit more of a higher financial advice, which is something I can make another video on, but is the program gonna be matching at least a certain percentage of what you're gonna be putting from your salary into a retirement bank account? And is your retirement account gonna be withdrawing only pre-tax, or do you have a Roth option? That may seem a little bit complicated right now and maybe something you're not really thinking about in terms of ranking your hospitals, but something to just keep in the back of your mind. And especially once you match residency, I'll definitely post another video about residency financials. Now let's talk about a little bit of last minute advice. Definitely talk to your family and friends and their opinions in terms of the location, the program, the residents, and just overall factors that are gonna be playing into how you're gonna be ranking your hospitals. It kind of gives you a little bit of perspective from somebody else who knows you, and at least you can throw some ideas back and forth. Unless there's any really big legitimate changes that happen last minute, do not change your rank list last minute before the rank list is due. For example, if you've had a program that was at your number one for a long time, you may really seriously regret it later if you were to rank it even number two or somewhere lower on your rank list. There was a reason that you had that program number one, and try to really remember that reason and write it down. You can go into as much or as little detail as you can with each hospital that you're ranking, but I would definitely recommend writing down pros and cons to each rank, even if you've got over 10 or 15. Try to keep your head in the game, just relax, because at this point, there's really nothing you can do except wait and rank, and good luck on the match. As always, like and subscribe, let me know how I'm doing, comment and compliment below, and good luck with the match.